Welcome to a very special spotlight on mothers. As we honor Mother's Day in this year of 1998, and we have with us today two very special persons and a baby. And we are very excited to have the matriarch of the Thorne family as really the crowning jewel on the set, and she has brought with her a very wonderful lady, her daughter, Sally Bond, and Sally has brought with her, by special request, Kelsey Bond. And we want to welcome y'all to the show today. Welcome, Miss Sally.
Thank you, Ruthie. Thank you for having us.
That's wonderful. And Lois, we are extremely honored to have you with us today because we know that you're very reluctant and a very private person, but you have such a wonderful family and have been such an inspiration to so many people, not only as a mother, but as a businesswoman and a grandparent and a real wonderful community servant. And we're just honored to salute you today and to salute your wonderful daughter, who is the chairman of the board for the Grand Prairie Chamber of Commerce. And Sally, we do have your brand new 1998 membership referral guide today, just to prove to folks that you can be a mother, you can be an attorney, you can be wonderful things in the community and still have a smile on your face and have a beautiful baby that is just so splendid that is with us today. And tell us a little bit about your little family, then we're going to get to Lois and let her tell us a little bit about her family.
Well, thank you, Ruthie. This is our daughter. This is Kelsey Marguerite Bond. She's 6 months old now. She's born November 12th. We're just so thrilled to have her as part of our family. My family is myself and my husband, Curtis Bond. Yes. Curtis works at Delta Airlines, and Kelsey is our first child.
Yes, and she is really taking center stage here today, isn't she?
She is. She's just so active and curious about everything. Her new trick is to pull her pacifier out and put it back in.
And she can do that alone?
She can do that by herself. She's always learning.
Oh, that is great. Well, we'd like for you to just look out into your camera and tell everyone how wonderful it is to be a mom and to be saluted and to have such a wonderful blessing such as Kelsey.
Ruthie, it's just so exciting. This is the best Mother's Day I've ever experienced. Now I know how my mother felt having 9 children. You know, it's ups and downs, you have sleepless nights, but all you have to do is look in these beautiful eyes and see what a beautiful little girl she is, and you just fall in love with her all over again.
And let us know, how has this changed your lifestyle now that you have a young lady there that demands so much of your time?
She demands 150% of my time, and there's no question about that. But it's worth it. It's worth all of the changes. It's worth it to stay at home and just spend time with her. I don't want to go out after work. You know, I want to go home and spend time with my daughter and my family.
And you're still able to juggle your wonderful job at the attorney's office at Thorne & Thorne?
Yes, Ruthie, with the help of all my family, Hal Thorne, John Thorne, Polly Flory, and of course my mother, I'm able to continue my job at Thorne & Thorne with a lot of help from them and our staff. And then at the Chamber of Commerce, we've got a wonderful staff, Terry Ricketts and her employees, as well as the all-volunteer board, who really make my job so much easier.
That's wonderful. All right, let's let you rest a moment, and let's get over to Miss Lois. Lois, we're just so delighted to have you with us. Would you like to say anything about your illustrious family? Your late husband, John Thorne, was such an inspiration, a president of the Chamber of Commerce when they called him a president. Now that Sally's in, they call him a chairman of the chamber. But she followed in his footsteps, and he has done so much for the community in the past, and just really helped with the Immaculate Conception Church. And just tell us a little bit about the real Lois Thorne and anything you'd like to say today about being a mom of such a wonderful family.
The real Lois Thorne has been a very busy mom, as you might suppose, a household of 9 children, a household and a handful too, I might say. And Kelsey is number 17 grandchild.
Number 17.
So that has kept me busy also.
All right.
All the grandchildren.
All right. Would you like to name your children so that'll be on your record? And
My children.
Your children. This is a Mother's Day salute.
Okay, you help me if I need help along the way.
I can help you.
There's Brant Jr. and Amy and Alicia and Clint and Dusty and Gillian and Jenna, then Michelle and John and Daniel, and of course, let's see. Kristen, Will, and Haley, and Hannah and Forrest.
Those are all the grandchildren.
All of the grandchildren. Isn't that splendid? She made the list, and I would have never been able to go down that list. That is just splendid, and I know that your family is to be saluted, because how long have you all lived in Grand Prairie, Texas up until this time?
We arrived in the spring of 1952.
1952. And of course, John came here as a budding young attorney and was on Main Street. And you were at home with the kids for some of the time. But since we have lost John, you work in the office and you do wonderful things. And I think that's great that a grandmother of your stature still continues to be active and excited about the things that are going on in Grand Prairie. Especially, you've been involved with the community hospital, the DFW Medical Center, and all of the foundation, and you've helped raise funds, and you've come to all of us and say give money or paintings or come and work. And I'd just like to personally thank you for all of the good things you have done for the city of Grand Prairie, Texas.
Thank you, Ruthie.
And Sally, would you like to say something about your mom and how great she's been?
She's been an inspiration to all of us, Ruthie. Without her guidance and her love and her support through all the years of growing up, I don't think any of us would be where we are today. It's the spirit of community that she has instilled in each of us that's given me the strength to go out and do the job that I do in the community, whether it's for the hospital or for the chamber or for our local schools. It all comes from our mother. You know, it all starts at home.
Well, I think this is an appropriate Mother's Day salute. And do you know who's taking a night-night?
Little Kelsey has gone taking her nap.
Little Kelsey is taking a night-night, the first night-night on the Ruthie Jackson Show, and I think that is just wonderful. She is just precious, and thank you all so much for bringing her today and helping us salute mothers in this very special way. And Lois, we're very proud of you, and thank you under duress for coming to be a part of this very special salute to Mother's Day today.
Happy Mom's Day to you, Ruthie.
And thank you very much, and a happy Mother's Day to both of you all, and a happy Mother's Day to all of your daughters and to all of your daughters-in-law, because you have done a splendid job in being a good and wonderful example and a mentor for them. And we'll be right back with our second salute.
Yippee-yi-ki-yo, get along, little doggy. Would you look at this mess? If I ever get my hands on the yahoos responsible for messing up these beautiful Texas roads, I'm gonna moo, moo.
I didn't know longhorns could talk.
Me neither.
Horses, I've seen horses talk.
And pigs, remember that movie?
That was a great movie.
I love that pig.
As we continue our spotlight on Mother's Day, we're very privileged today to have a very special group. And the group that is so very special to your speaker just happens to be the immediate family. And we have a 4-generation situation here, and we're just so pleased, first of all, to welcome our younger daughter, Georgia Jackson Clemson. Welcome to this set, Georgia.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you for calling me younger.
Yes, yes, yes. Isn't it nice to be the younger daughter?
It's wonderful.
Yes. Since we do have another daughter that we could not get here for this Mother's Day salute, you're going to be the star of the show today, along with your illustrious family that we have with you. And I'm so pleased to really introduce a young lady that is your younger daughter, and that is Miss Allison Clemson. Allison, welcome to the set today.
Thank you.
Yes, we're delighted to have you with us, and we're going to get back and talk with you in just a few minutes. And finally, at the very end of our dais here today, we have Leanna Clemson Garcia. And Leanna, we're so glad to have you with us. And Yes, and you have a very special guest with you today, don't you?
I do. This
Yes.
is Blake.
That is Blake Jackson Garcia. Yes. Are you very, very happy to be here today, Blake? You want to go redo the studio for us? Yes. Yes. Georgia, we're just so pleased that you all would come and share the day with us today and help us to document Mother's Day in a sense of the word. And I'd like for you to tell us a little bit about being not only a mom, but a grandmom, and the fact that you're work in the community. You also work in a business. You also have been a school teacher in the choral department at different places. And I'd like for you to talk about being a mom and balancing all of that act together.
Well, I'm not sure how balanced we've been, but we've tried.
Yeah.
Of course, I think that being a mom has been right up there at the top of the list of priorities. It's been a very important and a very special blessing in my life to have been a mom of 3 children.
All right. You would mention the other child that is not here today that you have out working in the business, making money today.
Yes, Spencer Clemson
All right.
is our firstborn child, and he is very busy working with his dad and grandfather in the business.
All right.
And of course, as you had mentioned, I have Leanna and Allison, and it has been a challenge.
Yes.
Plus, it's been a real education just raising these children.
Yes, raising these children, you mean the 2 that we have on the dais today, or are you raising this 3rd one that we have on the dais today?
Now, she is responsible for that one. I'm just here to enjoy and help with Blake.
I noticed with a great deal of interest that you have an infant seat in the back seat of your car as well as in the back seat of her car. How did it get to that?
Well, even though this is my first time to be a grandmother, I'm learning some of the tricks of being a good grandmother, and you have to have a little porta-crib at your house, and you have to have a way to transport the baby safely, so I'm getting all of that equipment.
Mm-hmm. And do you have a high chair yet?
Yes, we finally got a high chair, and that helps.
All of that helps. Well, I know that being a mom, how do you enjoy being a mom and balancing that with the work that you do, with the work you do at church, with the work you did at Fort Worth Christian? How do you manage all of that, Georgia, and still have a pleasant countenance?
Well, first of all, you pray a lot.
Yes. Yes.
Get your priorities straight. I've found that I have some of my mom's genes in that I want to do everything and want to help everyone who calls and says, could you do this? But I've had to draw some lines and get some priorities and make some choices on the things that I feel are important and that will make a lasting difference.
That's wonderful. Let's talk with Allison just a moment. Now, Allison is a wonderful student at the Dallas Baptist University, and maybe one day will be a mom, but since she is not a mom now, tell us how it's been to live in a family and share your mom with 2 other siblings and yet come out feeling real good about the situation. You're the baby.
It was a little bit of a challenging experience, I guess, simply because I'm the youngest and I kind of have to edge my way up on everybody else because I might have been picked on a little bit because I was the littlest. But all in all, it's been a good, positive experience for me.
Yes, and having a mom that's in and out doing many things in the community, did you miss a lot of her attention, or do you think that she was really nice to you in spite of that?
She was really nice to me. She's been a good mom.
She's been a good mom.
She was always there for me at all my activities in school and extracurricular. So she's done a good job.
Since you're a very famous volleyball player and have all of these scholarships, does she follow you around to all of the places you need to go to play volleyball and all of that?
I don't know about famous volleyball player, but yeah, she's been real supportive of all my activities, especially volleyball.
Mm-hmm. That's been the favorite support of all, right?
Right. My mom and dad both, and the rest of my family.
Yes.
Sister and brother, and nephew,
Okay.
and grandparents. I've got a very supportive family that they come to some of my volleyball games.
Oh, that's great. We're going to get back with you in a few minutes, but we need to get over to Leanna. Leanna, now that you're a mom and a working mom, you work in the vending business also, and I know you work at keeping our young Blake going, and he is such a fun young man. Tell us about being a mom.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work, though. It's takes up a lot more of my time than I thought it would. I know that y'all know because you're two of my best babysitters.
Yes. Yes.
So you know the days that I've about had it up to here because you have a knock on your door and Blake's waiting for you right there.
Yes. And your husband, Joel, he's very supportive and helps you considerably.
Oh, he does.
Blake,
He
yes.
does a real good job. Him and Blake are getting to be great friends.
Oh, that's wonderful. Tell me about having to leave the family and go and establish a home of your own. Has that been exciting for you?
It has been exciting. A little hard and stressful, and everything's new. But we're real happy.
Yes.
We like it.
And you have a car of your own, so I know you have a seat for Blake, don't you?
We have a car seat and a high chair and a walker and
he's
house
very, very inquisitive, isn't he?
he is.
Yes, Boo Boo. Is that Boo Boo? Where's Boo Boo?
He calls his great-grandmother Boo. And
Yes.
he calls his great-grandfather Bun Bun and E-I-E-I-O.
Is there a reason that he calls his great-grandfather E-I-E-I-O?
Well, yes, whenever Blake was a little smaller, he loved to sing "Oh MacDonald's Farm." And even though he was little, when you'd get to the part for E-I-E-I-O, that's when he would chime in E-I-E-I-O. So his great-grandfather, every time he saw him, he would say, "Hi, E-I-E-I-O." And so now every time Blake sees him, he says E-I-E-I-O. So that's his new name.
That is his new name. That's wonderful. That is great. Leanna, do you plan for him to play soccer like little Ricky Garcia plays, that he's such a star at that?
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll play soccer and t-ball and all that good stuff. Maybe not football.
And he really likes going on a tour through the vending company, doesn't he?
He does.
Yes.
He likes to
Yes.
ride the forklifts and play on the kiddie rides.
Oh, that is great.
I
Georgia?
know we're going to have to wind up in just a minute, but I just wanted to document the fact that this year I did get my mom a very special large Mother's Day card.
Oh, my.
Usually my sister is the queen of the cards,
I
and she
see.
sends the most beautiful cards. And
Gigantic
And I'm
cards.
usually the small card, or I'll get it next week or something. And so I wanted to make sure that you got your card on time this year, because you're a very special mother, and we love you very much and
Oh,
appreciate you and your role model that you've been for all of us.
Thank you very much. And Allison, is there a parting thing that you would like to say in this interview? You're just glad to be here, aren't you?
Of course I am.
Yes.
I'd just like to say that I've been very blessed with a wonderful mother and great-grandmother.
Thank you, thank you. And Leanna, you have been most patient to bring our darling with us today to salute 4 generations, and thank you all for being with us today. And this is Ruthie Jackson, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
10 years ago, a Texas guitar legend kicked off an idea that has become a legend in itself. We'd like to thank Willie and the whole gang for helping create the most successful anti-litter campaign in history. And like Stevie Ray said a little over 10 years ago,
don't mess with Texas.
And as we continue our history tape number 335, the last segment, saluting Mother's Day, we have a very special lady and her daughter here today. And Lorraine Sansarabia is not only special to the city because she is a mom, she is very special as a community leader, a businesswoman, and a community activist, and certainly as the outgoing member of the Grand Prairie ISD Board of Education. And we're so pleased, Lorraine, to welcome you to the set today, my dear.
Thank you for inviting us, Miss Ruthie.
Yes. And Alana, wonderful young lady, your precious daughter, thank you for bringing her today. And Alana, welcome to the set.
Thank you.
Yes, all right. Front and center to Mom
Yes, ma'am.
in this Mom's Day salute. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your genealogy? We want to know your parents, their names, and even though we could not get them here to the show today, we'd like for you to document your parents and
Okay.
and any of your grandparents, if you'd like to name the ones that you have
Okay.
a wonderful genealogy display here.
Well, my mother's name is Selena Sines, and I brought some pictures, and I'll just point to her mother is Pilar, and her mother is Guadalupe. And I had another picture, but I couldn't bring, that would have been the 6th generation, and her name was Dolores.
Dolores.
And Dolores came from Spain.
Came from Spain. Oh, how exciting. Oh, do you have a wonderful family tree that you have it all pulled together?
Yes, on my mother's side. Now, on my father's side, we don't have very much. My mother's side of the family was a little more, they were a family of attorneys and business people in Mexico and Spain. And my father's side, from what I could tell, they worked on the farm. And they were here in Texas.
Records were not that important, were they? Yes.
Yeah, and as far as we can tell, they were here before Texas was Texas.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone that you would like to name in your personal family now that we've gotten down to that? Do you have brothers or sisters?
I have 2 brothers. Ronnie and is my big brother, and Sammy's my little brother.
All right.
And I have a little sister, and her name is Rachel.
Oh, that's
and
wonderful.
Rachel's a school teacher, and she teaches in a little town, well, actually in Eagle County in Colorado. And that's where Vail and Gypsum and Eagle and all those little ski towns are.
Great ski towns,
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah.
Okay.
She
all
has
right.
it pretty good.
And Lorraine, as a young lady, tell us a little bit about your schooling, if you'd like to tell us where you've been to school or anything you'd like to know up until we need to introduce your wonderful husband.
Okay. Well, elementary school was in Robstown, Texas.
All right.
And then I went to middle school in a school, gosh, it's been so long ago, can't remember, in San Antonio, the name of my school. And then
All right.
I went to South Grand Prairie,
Yes.
where my husband also attended South Grand Prairie, but we did not meet till college. And
You did not?
We did not meet in high school.
You graduated from South in
74.
74.
And Rick and I were going to Mountain View when we met.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, and a year later we were married.
Yes.
And then he decided he wanted to go to law school. So with a child in tow, we moved to Colorado, and he started at the University of Denver.
Yes.
And then decided he wanted to finish up in Texas, so we moved back, and he
Yes,
finishes
yes.
up in SMU.
And name the rest of your family other than Alana.
Well, our oldest is Vicente. He's 19, and he's attending Navarro College.
All right.
And Adrian is 16. He's a junior at South.
Yes.
Alana is 9, and she's a 3rd grader at Collin Powell.
Yes.
And Marky is 6, and he's in kindergarten in Miss Clark's class.
Yes, and Marky is the one that we have really seen him come along. He's been to all of the meetings of the women's division of the chamber and all other things. And it's very sad to lose you to the school board, but we know that your family's going to benefit by your doing that.
Yes,
Yes.
I really felt like I put them on the back burner for 3 years, and I did my duty, and now it's time for somebody else too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit to Alana. Yes, Alana, would you look out into your camera and tell us your age and where you go to school, and we'll ask you some more questions in a minute.
I'm 9, and I go to Collin Powell Elementary with my little brother Marky.
Yes.
And, well, my teacher is Miss Hyman. She is very nice, very young.
Yes. And you're in grade?
3rd.
In 3rd grade? That's good. That's wonderful. Do you have a favorite subject in the 3rd grade yet? Have you formulated a real wonderful love for one of your subjects or more?
Yes, math and reading.
Math and reading. Oh, that is great. Oh, tell me, do you have any musical inclinations?
Yes, I play the piano. Been playing for 4 years or four or 5.
4 or 5 years. Would you like to name your music teacher?
Miss Pittman.
Miss Pittman.
Mhm.
Oh, is that Nauline Pittman? Oh, that is great. And one of these days, with Nauline Pittman as your pianist teacher, instructor, the next thing we know, you'll be in a pageant and you'll be the Queen of Texas. Because we always look to Nauline for all of those great things, don't we? Yes. All right. And what's your special hobby?
I play soccer, all kinds of sports, soccer, baseball, basketball.
Basketball? Mm-hmm.
Well,
What's your favorite food?
corn.
Oh, great. Oh, that is great. That's wonderful. What you going to do this summer?
Probably go on another vacation, go to the beach or something.
Yes, go to the beach, uh-huh. All right. And you already have a bathing suit all ready to go and yes. Oh, that's wonderful. What did you do over the Christmas holidays? Do you have anything special you did over Christmas?
No, just stayed home and, spent our Christmas at home.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Do you have a favorite older person other than your parents that you look to a lot and that's really helped you and been a mentor to you?
My grandparents.
Your grandparents. Oh, would you like to name them?
Selena Signs, as you already saw her,
Yes.
and my grandpa Sam Signs.
Uh-huh. He's a smart dude, isn't he? Yes.
Dictionary.
Yes, he is a dictionary. He really, really is. And we just love having him on the Commission on Aging and doing all the good things for the community that he does. And he has an influence on a lot of boys and girls' lives, doesn't he?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Have you decided anywhere near your career that you want to be when you grow up?
Well, when I'm in high school, I might want to work at the Palace of Wax.
All right.
And when I grow up, I might be a lawyer.
Going to be a lawyer. She's going to follow in her dad's footsteps, right?
The only one so far.
That's wonderful. Well, we have about 1 minute left, and I'd like for you to say anything about Grand Prairie and your life as a mom, working and doing all the things that you do in the community. Lorraine.
Well, I would just like to thank the citizens of Grand Prairie for allowing me to serve their children these last 3 years. It has been very rewarding and fulfilling, very educational for me. I've really learned a lot about the process. I encourage citizens who have the inclination to run for office, any office, one day, because it really is something that everybody needs to be involved in. I would also like to take this time to thank my mother for helping me, and my husband. Without those two, I couldn't have been involved with any of the civic duties that I have.
I want to thank you two very much for helping us with our Mother's Day salute. You're a wonderful mother and you're a wonderful daughter. Thank you. And this is Ruthie Jackson reminding you, and would you all help us end the show? This is really a history, so really it happened in Grand Prairie, Texas. For history is as we live and do.